Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this video, make sure you like and subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more videos. Also go follow my socials. The links for them are down in the description. And we are reviewing the game yesterday against Reading that Norwich secured the title in some fashion, because we are by far the best team in the league. And I have lost my voice a bit. I was down Carrow Road yesterday. I wasn't going to miss that, celebrating the title with the other fans that are there. A few hundred, I believe, were there. So yeah, but I'm joined with a guest today. I'm joined with a Reading fan, Josh, who some of you may know. Say hello, Josh.
Do I really want to be here right now? No, I don't think I do. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, mate. I'm glad that you managed to get yourself down to the title celebrations, because as much as we do kind of sit here and go, right, what's the world currently saying? Ultimately, you've won the league, and deservedly so. And I'm glad you've all enjoyed yourselves. Well done in the game as well, quite frankly.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of shitting myself after you guys went 1-0 up, and then, I was then kind of apprehensive to what Watford were going to do. I was like, oh shit, this really could go tits up. It could be a wasted day again, like we did at Watford at home. But all was good for Norwich, not so good for Reading. Your demise this season has been something remarkable. I mean, you're top for the first 7 games, and then you've just been on. It's very, very slow downfall. You've now dropped out of the playoffs completely. Got no chance of getting promoted. Your top goal scorer can't hit a barn door. Your defence is.
Injured.
I've seen
injured.
Better.
That's where the defence is.
And it's very
injured.
makeshift, and it's very, very shit in general.
Yeah.
What has actually happened, though? What has happened? So you, going forward, you guys did pose a slight threat. I mean, you scored from a set piece, but scoring set pieces against Norwich, it doesn't really count, really. We can see set pieces all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue that we've had for so long, of all season, it's been the lack of depth. We brought nobody in January to reinforce where we were in the league. We were linked with people, but nothing came through at all. We held on to players in January, which I think was the only thing that stopped fans from kind of asking more questions. We managed to hold on to the likes of Elise, who obviously in the week won Young Player of the Year award.
Max Aaron's robbed. Wait, what? Who said that?
I think we can both agree that Elise has, as much as Aaron's is a quality player, and I think
it's Max Aaron's now, by the way. It's Max Aaron's.
Oh, it's Aaron's.
Yeah, well, apparently we've been pronouncing his name wrong for the past 2 years. I'm still used to saying Max Aaron's. I keep forgetting it's now Max Aaron's. So.
Well, yeah. Max Aaron's, the same guy, the right back, the wonder kid that has been doing so well for Norwich for the last couple of years. Let's face it, he's a great talent, but I think the argument that you've got to take with Elise is that he's a generational that's come out of Reading's academy, who notoriously have had a hand in some quite good players over the years. I mean, especially in recent years. If Elise does leave, as I think he will, you've got the likes of Omar Richards, who will have played against you guys yesterday, who's off to Bayern in the summer. We had Danny Loda, who's gone off to Porto last year. So there's some good talent coming out of the academy. But I think the main lion's share of our issue is depth. If you look at, I think you said the defence in particular, the centre-back pairing had never played together before, and you can tell. You could tell they were off the pace. I think one of them was a loanee, and quite frankly, you could tell that he was a loanee on the fact that when Pukki's run through on goal, he's just stopped. If you care for your club, and you would say the exact same thing if this was Norwich, if an attacker of an opposition side is running through on goal, you don't stop until the ball is in the net. He stopped before he'd even made it into the 18-yard box. And quite frankly, the story of the season, confidence and injuries.
Yeah, I can tell you why he done that. He's also got a slight agenda against Ivan Toney, such as me. So he's like, we'll give Pukki that little bit of glimmer. I hope that he can still get that golden boot. So that's why he's had it.
It's still a little bit harder to be able to do that now, unfortunately. I think he's got a bag, five in the final game?
It's going to be difficult, yeah. But I mean, that last goal that Pukki did score, the pass back from you, Pukki's pounced onto it. And then
6 and 7 is the only way that I can really think to describe it, to be honest. It was kind of a case of defensive calamity all day. I mean, Obviously, like you said, the set piece goal from an Elise delivery onto Josh Lawrence's head. Do love Josh. He's brilliant for us, and
Josh Lawrence.
honestly,
I said to you earlier.
I can't see him staying for too much. And this is going to be our thing now. Is we've not been promoted in a season that no one expected us to get promoted.
But what
you've done is you like you say, we've had the squad to be up there. We've had the squad to challenge certain teams. I mean, we in the home leg against Norwich, or home tie rather. We weren't great. We had no recognised striker on the pitch. We only lost that game 2-1 from a late penalty. We were at 6s and 7s for part of that game, but we still gave a decent account of ourselves. And that's what we've not done, I would say, since the 0-0 draw away at Preston on the 24th of January. That's been the downfall since then. We've, I mean, everyone, if you haven't seen the Lucas João miss against Barnsley, the fact that the guy gets paid more in a week than some people will get paid in a year is criminal. If he's going to do that, because you've got a strange thing
about Lucas João. You know, I could ask you 6 months ago, what are your thoughts on Lucas João? You'd be absolutely loving him. You know, he's got over 20 goals this season, hasn't he?
In all competitions, yes. In the league, I think he's just shy.
But still, that's a good in you know, for a striker, that's a good return. But you look at his past 3 months in the Reading shirt. It's been it's not been great. And he was. I mean, look, we'll go through the game from start to finish. Obviously, you guys took the lead from that set piece, and that's poor marking from Norwich. There was Josh Lawrence was free at the back post. No one picked him up. Kieran down probably should have. He was the closest man to him. You score, fair play. Then we just overran you. We had so many chances. Your defence looked so shoddy. It was a matter of time before Norwich were going to score. And obviously, Pookie closed down the goalkeeper. It gets cleared as far as Kieran Dow. It makes up for his, may have been at fault for that goal. Picks out of the back of there, easy. And then in the second half, it was all one-way traffic, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much of this, obviously, you've seen having from someone a perspective I've only watched the highlights because I was unfortunately working at the time of the game, but I've looked at the stats for the second half, and quite frankly, you can see the difference in pure class between the two sides. The fact that Reading registered one shot in the second half, and Norwich, I believe, had somewhere in the region of around 12. So you're talking like night and day between two sides, that not only a night and day between them in the table, and you could see that today.
Yeah.
But as a Reading side who were considered for a short period of time contenders for actually winning the whole league, then were considered playoff candidates for the vast majority of the season. I mean, I think it was 41 weeks that we were actually sat in the top six. We didn't drop out of the top six for kind of the entire season almost. And then we've just gone on a massive dip. The teams around us have picked up enough points to get to where they needed to be. We've not done enough. We've been struck massively by injuries. I think centre-back is the biggest place where I can say we've been hit with injuries. I mean, I touched on it saying that we had Tom Holmes and Lewis Gibson. Obviously, Lewis Gibson on loan from Everton, both playing at centre-back, never played together before. Tom Holmes started the season at right-back. Lewis Gibson in the reverse fixture against yourselves played at left-back. We massively missed the commanding pairing of Morrison and Moore down the middle, and then Tom McIntyre, who has been so bright when he's played. He's obviously been out for a little while now and was always going to be out for the season. We missed him to be able to step in as kind of a deputy almost in that position. And as much as fans can sit there and go, "I'll blame the injuries," the manager's not had a plan B for so long.
Yeah,
there's been no kind of give from the players. The players haven't wanted to run for the team, and that's the difference you can see between the two sides. And you could see it yesterday. Was Norwich were running for each other. They were running for the manager. They wanted it. They were doing it for the fans, for whoever you want to describe it. That was who they were doing it for. Whereas Reading, and they've done it for weeks now, they will lose a 50-50 and kind of throw their arms up in the air and just stand around. Elise, prime suspect of it. João, prime suspect of it. Ajaria, prime suspect of it. And Reading fans kind of around are looking at it and going, oh, well, 7th place is better than what we've had. Could be worse. Now,
it should be better. That's the thing.
It should. And if you kind of sit back and you can pinpoint it onto the likes of Jow and go, look at how many points that we've missed because of his missed penalties or his missed chances, so on and so forth. You could do the same with George Puskas. I mean, he hit the post in the first half in that game against Watford where we conceded 2 goals very early on. And then probably, I would say, look the better of the 2 teams. It's a case of, for Reading this year, it's drop points. And you're now looking at the state of the club's finances, the fact that the club has had 2 soft transfer embargoes to deal with over the course of this season, the talk of a points deduction for the pure lack of anything going in terms of structure to stay in line with financial fair play regulations. There is a very high risk that we could do a Derby or a Sheffield Wednesday next year. And if you're talking on the game's perspective, I would have loved to have seen a bit more kind of oomph from some of the players. It was great to see some young names getting themselves out there. I know Mamadi Kamara came off the bench. I think that was, might be wrong, I think that was his first league appearance. I know Dejan Tetek started the game. But I think, again, you've got to look at the kind of team selection, the tactics, the players' attitudes. And on the whole, and that is the differential you can draw between the 2 sides 100%. On that pitch yesterday. You could see night and day difference between who wanted to be there and who was just a bit like, I can't be bothered to be here.
Oh, yeah. We'll go with the second half. Obviously, Todd Cantwell lifting a beautiful ball into the box, and Kieran Dow made it easy. And that was just so simple. We could, we were taking the piss at that point, and it was only at 2-1. Xavi Quintilla scoring a brilliant free kick to make it 3-1, and that was a left back's second goal in as many games from left back is quite outstanding. So yeah, that was great. And then obviously Timu Puki wrapped it up, and Norwich won the title in some fashion. We could have lost that game, and we would have still been champions. And I think, it just shows that we are head and shoulders above everyone, absolutely everyone in this league. Don't get me wrong, we lost to Watford twice, we lost to Bournemouth twice, but on the grand scheme of things, I don't think it really matters because those 2 teams are far too inconsistent. Norwich.
I mean, this does tie into what we were talking about earlier when I was literally saying, I went on in the second half of the season. You went on this incredible run of I think 9 games.
9 wins. Yeah, we went on a 9-game winning.
9 wins. Yeah, that alone, you've picked up 27 points.
Yeah, that winning run won us the league. 100%.
Exactly my point. Exactly, and this is where you talk about form, you talk about inconsistencies. You've done that, whereas at that time, I believe Watford were very much up and down.
Were kind of. No, I think Watford shaky. At that point were kind of building their.
They were finding their feet, but they were still not quite at this. Yeah. Look, realistically, you can't compare a team that's gone 9 games winning in a row to a team that's kind of doing this.
Yeah,
and that's in any
going back one every time. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, we'll go on to my player ratings for the Norwich team yesterday. Tim Krul in goal. Obviously, apart from the goal conceded, didn't really have anything to do. 7 out of 10. We'll go with 7. But
remember, you've just won the league. Be generous.
10 out of 10. Max Aaron at right back. 10 out of 10. Andrew Delia, the big Andy. 10 out of... No, I'm going to have to do this properly. Max Aaron... So, yeah, I'll give Tim Krul a 7. Max Aaron, 7. Didn't really put a foot wrong. Didn't really do anything too special. 7. Andrew Delia and Grant Hanley, both going to give them a 7. Didn't do anything too special, but didn't do anything wrong at the same time. Xavi Quintilla, I'm going to give him an 8. Scoring a goal and looked defensively a lot better in this game. And yeah, deserved an 8 out of 10. He's on a bit of a confidence streak right now. Hopefully that can last to the last game of the season, unless Giannoulis gets put in. And then we'll go over to the midfield, Oliver Skipp and Kenny McLean. Oliver Skipp obviously picking up that injury, but still came out and celebrated with the fans. Kenny McLean absolutely loving it as usual. I wonder how sore his head is this morning. As we all know, Kenny McLean does love a drink after winning the title. But they're both 7 out of 10s. Emi Buendia, 7.5 out of 10, class above the rest. Didn't even have his best game. Is still pissed out all over Reading. Kieran Dow was made to look like prime Ronaldinho, and this game was the reason why we call him Dowdinho. 9 out of 10, fantastic. He's been so good since coming into the starting lineup. I think he started against from Forest away. He's been in the lineup ever since and has been absolutely fantastic. On the left, Todd Cantwell got the beautiful assist for Dow's second goal, 7.5 out of 10. And Timu Pukki, 7.5 out of 10, got his goal. Very, very good performance. Solid performance to win the league. And Norwich are champions. Norwich are going to be playing Premier League football next season, and I cannot wait. And hopefully we'll allow back in stadiums. I can bring some matchday experiences potentially to this channel. So yeah, it's all sunshine and roses for Norwich, and maybe not so much for Reading. But the Championship is always the more exciting league anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it for a long time now. I quite enjoy being in the Championship. You never know, could be League One ventures for me next year. No, all jokes aside, the Championship's a brilliant league, and Norwich just seem to always have that edge when they're in it. And
that's why I love it so
you've shown your class this year, like you seem to always end up doing. Farker Ball in full force. He's doing so well for the club, and in all realities of things, let's hope you stay in the Premier League this time round. It'll be interesting to see how your transfer business goes down. I'm sure that'll be in some sort of future video.
Well, 2 or 3 signs. I was signed Giannoulis of 7 or 8 million, and Ben Gibson for 8.5 million. And I think Xavi Quintilla is also an obligation to buy for 2.7 million. So already 3 signings. Obviously, they've been on loan this season, but permanently. And I want to see Oliver Skipp staying. And obviously, Tim Krul starting the Oliver Skipp we wanted to stay chance yesterday kind of just says to me, yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance. But cheers, Josh. Thank you for coming on. I'll leave Josh's socials down in the link in the description so you can go follow him on there. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Also click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. There'll be plenty coming in the next few weeks. And once the season is over, there'll be a lot of exciting videos that I've got planned. And also go follow my socials. The links to them will also be down in the description. But apart from that, I shall see you guys later.